That is America's ass.
It sure is, Cap. It sure is. Anyways, welcome back, true believers and all you merry Marvelites, to another very exciting Marvel's Avengers related video. And in today's video, I'm basically going to be recapping the most recent pieces of information relating to Captain America's Secret Empire suit, as well as the brand new bits of news relating to the Incredible Hulk. But as you can see from the title alone, there is something very important relating to actually a brand new showcase of Marvel's Avengers coming up relatively soon, but we will be discussing about that a bit later. So to start off with the brand new Captain America attire, this was the main costume which was being teased during the San Diego Comic-Con panel, as well as during the Captain America profile trailer. And while the majority of us did think it was going to be a different rendition of the classic Captain America scale armor, it turns out to be actually the Secret Empire costume from that of the comics. And in my personal opinion, even though I do very much appreciate the much more classic attire that they are going for within this costume, I think I prefer the default look that he has instead. I'm not the biggest fan as to how the helmet piece is designed for this costume, given the absence of the wings as well as the ears sticking out from Captain America's head. Not to mention that the A logo that's directly located on Captain America's forehead just looks like a random sticker posted right over his face. But regardless as to how I personally feel about this costume's design, I definitely can see that there is a plethora of people who are beyond excited that this costume is in the game. Although I do see some people complaining that the shield isn't exactly the one from the Secret Empire comics, which is more of the diamond shape instead of that of the circular disc. But remember, one of the biggest aspects about this game is going to be able to customize your characters with brand new gear pieces to upgrade how they play. So while the outfit itself is purely cosmetic, I do think there is going to be some gear pieces down the line which will increase the amount of damage and range your shield can have when fighting a bunch of enemies. And whether or not that means that the Secret Empire shield is somewhere within that gear lineup, we'll just have to wait and see as to how it all plays out. And moving on to the next roundup of news is relating to a massive amount of details regarding how the combat is mainly directed towards the Incredible Hulk. So essentially, each upcoming week is going to reveal some brand new pieces of information and footage relating to each individual hero within the Avengers project. And seeing how we got a full-on breakdown as to how Captain America operates within this game, we now have a bunch of info relating to how Bruce Banner actually deals damage as the one and only Hulk. But before going into the specifics as to how the combat works, we do have some very interesting story details from the voice actor who is portraying Bruce Banner in the game, with that of Troy Baker. And during a very interesting Q&A section between the Marvel's Avengers Twitter page and Troy himself, he did unveil some very interesting info relating to Bruce's character. So given the question that was asked, it states, how does your portrayal of Bruce Banner differ than that of previous incarnations of this iconic character? And as Troy Baker states within this post, Bruce Banner sits at the emotional core of our story. His relationships with the characters, which is often tenuous, spotlights his inner struggle. We've carefully crafted an arc for Bruce that simultaneously recalls fan favorite storylines and builds upon them. So given what we do know about the story already, Bruce is ridden with guilt after the events of A-Day, and due to this is actually trapped in a Hulk-like state. Now sadly, this does sound a bit similar to how events took place within Avengers Endgame, so I do really hope that they can actually truly identify Bruce and Hulk as two separate individuals within this story without relating too much to the MCU. And honestly, if we end up receiving any type of Professor Hulk storyline within the Avengers project, I'm not going to be all that interested as much as I'd like to be. But more importantly, we're now moving on to the concrete details as to how Hulk's combat differs from that of the other Avengers. And as the Marvel's Avengers Twitter page fully describes, playing Hulk is, unsurprisingly, all about taking control of and using his rage, explains lead combat designer Vince Napoli. When enraged, Hulk is nearly unstoppable. His attacks become more powerful, and the more damage he does, the more his innate regeneration takes effect. Playing Hulk optimally is all about knowing when to temper the rage, when to use it in small controlled bursts, and when the time is right to just completely Hulk out. Hulk is not only able to break apart and use his environment in a variety of ways, from tossing boulders into crowds of enemies and wielding giant slabs of rock like a massive wrecking ball, he is also able to use opponents themselves as weapons. Grabbing combatants not only offers a way to quickly control a group of enemies, but it completely changes Hulk's moveset, giving him access to a whole new suite of abilities and attacks. Hulk's combat continues to evolve when gear, skills, perks, and upgrades layer in, allowing players to finesse his arsenal arsenal of attacks. So obviously this is all stuff that we've already seen during the A-Day gameplay within the Hulk section on the Golden Gate Bridge, but I really do hope it does have as much layers as it is described towards once the full game actually ships. Out of all the Avengers gameplay that has been shown so far, Hulk definitely looks like to be one of the most fun to actually play as, but I really do hope that they fully expand upon his moveset to truly give him a lot of variety. Although, if it turns out that there's not a specific move or an upgrade to unlock which allows Hulk to destroy a car and turn it into some gigantic boxing gloves like Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, then we're gonna have a serious problem. So fingers crossed that Hulk's combat is as engaging, robust, and especially fun as the developers are describing it to be. And finally, as we transition within the bulk of the video, actually relates to us possibly receiving a brand new trailer for Marvel's Avengers in the next coming days. So if you're unaware, there is a gaming convention called the Tokyo Game Show, which showcases a bunch of new trailers and possible gameplay demos for upcoming games which haven't been released yet. And lucky enough for us, it seems like the Avengers project is actually going to be receiving a brand new trailer during this convention. But as this news fully breaks down within a Screen Rant article, it states Sony announces its full lineup of games that will be on display at Tokyo Game Show 2019. Japan's biggest video game expo begins in just 1 week, running September 12th through the 15th at the Makuhari Messe in Chiba. Sony won't be holding a press conference at Tokyo Game Show this year either, but that doesn't mean the company won't be there. In fact, a translated PlayStation blog post from Jamatsu shows that Sony has quite a lot of things planned for the event. The post reveals a huge list of games the company will be showing at TGS 2019, including a number of the most anticipated titles on the horizon. And surprisingly enough, throughout this entire list of the upcoming PlayStation 4 titles which will possibly showcase something new, Marvel's Avengers is right there front and center, saying that we could get a brand new trailer. Now this isn't just exciting due to the massive possibility of us possibly receiving even more footage about the game in only a few days, but it could also relate to something very, very important. If you do manage to recall back during E3 2019, the developers did state that there is going to be a special partnership between Marvel's Avengers and the PlayStation system. Not only will players be able to access an early beta of the game before anyone else, but we will also be receiving some exclusive benefits which will be revealed down the line. And while there are several possibilities as to what these exclusive PS4 benefits could possibly be, I'm hoping for the best that it could actually relate to them, including Spider-Man within the game. And of course, I don't just mean Spider-Man himself, but I'm directly relating to Insomniac's Spider-Man from Spider-Man PS4, which would eventually confirm the inevitable Marvel gaming universe. And seeing how the Tokyo Game Show is directly connected to all PlayStation related matters, I really do hope that they actually unveil what these exclusive PS4 benefits are for Marvel's Avengers. However, I'm not really sure what else it could be other than that of Spider-Man, but whatever it is, I really do hope that it is worth the while. But I guess we'll just have to wait until September 12th through the 15th to find out for sure. And until that time comes, everyone, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think about all this news relating to Captain America and the Incredible Hulk, as well as the possibility of us receiving a brand new trailer for the game during the Tokyo Game Show? In my absolutely honest opinion, the marketing for this game hasn't really been doing all that great, seeing how a lot of people besides myself aren't really getting too hype relating to what the game actually has in store. Describing the game through Twitter posts isn't really the same as actually showcasing what your game actually entails through hardcore and raw gameplay. And mainly for the story's case, seeing how it does share some similarities with that of Avengers Endgame, I really do hope it can actually go above and beyond its originality for this main plot. But above all else, I'm thoroughly crossing my fingers to see if Spider-Man is actually going to be featured in this game one way or another. And until that time comes, everyone, thank you all so much for watching, stay merry Marvelites, and peace out.